There's been a major development in the rather curious story of a now deceased dengue patient in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj being allegedly administered Mosambi juice and chemicals instead of platelets. That's the accusation that the family had made against a private hospital. Many days after this incident took place, the district magistrate of Prayagraj, the top official there, has for the first time spoken about what the inquiry report has said about that disputed platelet bag. So he's spoken to NDTV and he has issued a brief statement basically saying that what was administered to the patient were platelets, but they were poorly preserved. He says that this was not Mosambi juice, this was not some other chemicals. This was actually platelets, but it was poorly preserved, and also said that this hospital in question administered some medicines that were not up to the mark. So he says that an inquiry and action against the hospital will continue, but he denies the family's allegations that Mosambi juice was actually administered to this patient who is now deceased, as I pointed out. That's the first strand of the story. The second strand of the story is that in the last 24 hours, the land owner on which this hospital is built, on the land that the hospital is built, has been served what can be called a demolition notice. Now, the Prayagraj Development Authority, has served this notice basically saying in that notice that the demolition orders for this hospital were passed in January this year, and that the landowners got 3 chances to represent themselves last year about this illegal construction, they are saying, but they came up with no explanation, and that's why they have to take out everything from the hospital so that it can be sealed on Friday. I mean, the notice does not say that it will be demolished on Friday, but it says that it will be sealed permanently perhaps on Friday. Now, after the district magistrate's statement to NDTV, will things change on the ground? That is something that has to be seen, because the hospital has been saying, the hospital owners have been saying all along, like, look, we did no wrong. Now they claim that the family brought these platelets independently of the hospital, whereas the family claims that they brought it from a middleman introduced to them by the hospital. So this is the second strand. The third strand is that after this incident took place, or these allegations were made, the next day the Prayagraj police did arrest 10 men who they said were part of a fake platelet gang, a gang that was selling fake platelets to patients, dengue patients and their relatives in Prayagraj. However, the police chief at that point of time had gone on record to say that, look, we have no evidence of Mosambi juice. What we do know is that they are selling blood plasma, or passing off blood plasma, a separate component of blood, as platelets to unsuspecting relatives and dengue patients, etc. So all of these strands now seem to come together, but one waits to see what will happen, particularly on this notice, this demolition notice that has been served to the private hospital. So things will perhaps be clearer in the next few days.